Now we are going to talk about how to write a transition plan for students who are ages 16 to 22. The reauthorization of IDA in 1997 mandated transition services to be written into the IEP. Even though transition planning is a lifelong process, it is critical during the secondary years to ensure that appropriate annual goals and IEP services are developed that will support the students' hopes and dreams. There are legal mandates that must occur in the transition plan. The first thing is it must occur at age 16. Before the reauthorization in 2004, it was 14, and now the reauthorization of IDEA in 2004, they changed it to age 16. It must include measurable post-secondary goals based on age-appropriate transition assessments, and it must be related to education, training, or employment, and where appropriate, independent living skills. It must include 2 post-secondary goals. One must be in either education or training, and one must be employment. It must identify school transition services and activities, including a course of study, which is needed to assist the student in reaching these goals. And it must show evidence that you've invited agencies that will help with the transition process. What is mandated? It is mandated that it's a result-oriented process focusing on improving the academic and functional achievement of the student. It must be based on the student's individual's needs, taking into account the student's strengths, preferences, and interests. And again, like I said earlier, must be incorporated into the IEP at age 16. If the student turns 16 in the middle of the school year, you must write a transition plan. If the student is 15 and a half and you have the IEP and transition plan then, I would do it then so you do not have to have another meeting. So it can be done before age 16, but by the time they turn 16, you must have a transition plan written. And again, it requires schools to develop post-secondary goals in the area of education or training, employment, and independent living, where appropriate. And again, what student at age 16 does not need an independent living goal? We're going to be talking about the 6 steps on how to write a transition plan. The first step is conducting assessments. Assessments must be done annually in education, training, employment, independent living, and any other areas of needs. This assessment can either be a formal assessment or an informal assessment. Here are some examples of both. You can just Google transition assessments on the web and you'll find many assessments that are available. Some you do need to pay for and others are free. But personally, you know now how to write a person-centered plan. Person-centered plan is an informal assessment that can be used, and if you use a person-centered plan, everything that's required by IDA is covered. It must be, in IDA, assessment has to be person-centered, ongoing, variety of tools, updated annually, be in all 4 areas, education, training, employment, and independent living. Again, a person-centered plan addresses all those and must be based on input from everyone involved in the student's life, which a person-centered plan does. The next 2 slides are a cheat sheet on when you write a transition plan. We will have these uploaded so you can print them out and give you more details on how to write a transition plan. And we'll go in more details later. Step 2 is developing post-secondary outcomes. It must be based on assessment, must have a minimum of 2 post-secondary goals, 1 in training or education and 1 in employment. Post-secondary, I want to stress, is after the students exit public school or school. So either this usually is at age 22 or once they achieve a diploma. That's what you're talking about was post-secondary, after that age or to see what they're going to be doing. So how do you write a measurable goal? They'll never be measured because you're not going to see that student at age 23, 24. You might not. So how do you write it? So what the federal law is saying, it should be stated as a will statement. A measurable post-secondary goal is not written in the same format as an annual goal, and I'm going to give you some examples here. So, in training, within 1 year of exiting school, Carolyn will participate in a community-based on-the-job training program with a job coach. Notice the will statement and notice the statement within 1 year of exiting school. An employment one. Upon completion of school, Carolyn will start her own shredding business with the support of a regional center funded program. Again, will statement.